Summer birdwatching, it's amazing, right? But it is a whole different ballgame than other seasons. The real secret isn't just where you look, it's when you look. And believe me, when that summer heat kicks in, timing is, well, it's everything.
You know the feeling, right? It's that classic summer mystery. At dawn, your backyard is just buzzing with activity. Songs, wings fluttering everywhere. And then, poof, by noon it's dead silent. It's like they all just vanished into thin air. So seriously, where did they all go?
Well, it's not random, not at all. That whole disappearing act is actually this super finely tuned survival strategy. It's like they have this strict daily schedule they follow, just to beat the heat. And if you can crack that schedule, that's the key. That's how you win at summer birdwatching.
Okay, so let's dive right into the absolute prime time. I'm talking about the main event of any summer day for a birdwatcher. This right here is when all the action happens. You can basically see the entire story of a bird's summer day in this one simple rhythm. You've got this massive peak of activity in the early morning, then a huge nosedive at midday, and then a smaller little comeback tour in the evening. This pattern, this is the fundamental thing we need to get. So why the crazy morning rush? Well, it all comes down to a few really urgent needs. First off, they're starving. I mean, they've been fasting all night, so they gotta refuel. Second, the males are out there, singing their hearts out, defending their territory. That's the dawn chorus we all love. And maybe most important of all, they've got babies to feed. So many hungry mouths that need literally thousands of insects to raise. And look, this isn't just something people think happens. The U.S. Geological Survey backed this up. They analyzed over 1 million bird surveys and confirmed it. The science is solid. The absolute peak of activity is crammed into that first hour or two right around sunrise.
And here's a fantastic pro tip from the legendary ornithologist David Sibley. He points out a subtle difference. If you want to hear that amazing dawn chorus, you have to be out there before the sun comes up. But if you want to actually see the birds in good light, your best bet is the hour after sunrise. It's a small distinction, but it makes a huge difference.
Okay, so the morning madness is over. The sun's high in the sky and silence. So let's get into the science of why the birds pull this disappearing act every single day.
The whole mystery really boils down to one word: thermoregulation. It's just a fancy way of saying they have to manage their body temperature, just like we do. But think about it. Unlike us, they're basically wearing a down jacket 24/7. So in the summer, their number one problem isn't staying warm. It's a desperate struggle to stay cool.
And there's a very specific number, a temperature, where things go from uncomfortable to downright dangerous for them. It's a critical tipping point. Yeah, research from NASA, of all places, found that when the air hits 104 degrees Fahrenheit, songbirds have no choice but to start panting. And sure, that cools them down, but it also makes them lose water fast, like dangerously fast. If they can't find water, they can die from dehydration in just a few hours. So that midday retreat, it's not them being lazy, it's a life or death move. But wait, the skies aren't totally empty. There are a few exceptions. If you look up, you might spot hawks or falcons, just riding those hot air currents, soaring without even trying. And hummingbirds. With their crazy high metabolism, they have to eat constantly, no matter how hot it is. And, of course, any birds lucky enough to be near a pond or a lake will hang out by the water's edge. All right, so as that brutal midday heat finally starts to let up, we get a nice little encore performance. It's welcome, but it's brief. Now, it's really important to manage your expectations here. This evening activity is a cool bonus, for sure, but it's nowhere near as intense or predictable as the morning show. For the birds, it's really just about grabbing one last snack to get them through the night. And the timing is really specific. You'll see things start to pick up again around 4 p.m. But, and this is key, it all winds down way sooner than you'd think. The action pretty much stops about 30 minutes before the sun sets. So by the time you're watching that beautiful sunset, most of the songbirds have already called it a night. Okay, so we get the daily rhythm now. We know the schedule. So how do we actually use this information to make our summer birdwatching way more successful? It really comes down to 4 simple rules. Number 1, get up early. Seriously, that window from before sunrise to about 9 a.m. is non-negotiable. 2, just add water. A bird bath is like an oasis in the desert. It'll attract birds all day long, even when it's hot. 3, check the weather. A cool, cloudy day can mean the morning action lasts a lot longer.
And 4, when a heat wave hits, you got to adapt. That means getting out there even earlier. And don't forget that summer isn't just one thing. It changes from month to month. In early summer, it's all about nesting and territory, so you get lots of singing and trips to the nest. By midsummer, it's the season of the noisy, clumsy teenagers, the fledglings begging for food. Then, late summer gets a lot quieter, but you might get some cool surprises as young birds start to wander and show up in new places.
And all this leaves us with one last pretty big question. We're already seeing research that shows birds in the desert are starting their day earlier and earlier to cope with the heat. So as our whole planet warms up, is that morning window of activity going to keep shrinking? Are birds going to be forced into this frantic race against the sunrise just to survive? It's a sobering thought, and it connects what we see in our own backyards to a much, much bigger story.